Well, that's an unusual view. We haven't had that view before, and that's because what I'm about to do I've only ever done once before on film. There will be a short delay while I fetch and carry. Now, unfortunately, it's a bit of a giveaway, the title on the box. I was hoping to sort of do this as a surprise so that when I actually opened it, it would be a surprise. Well, obviously it won't be. And for some this would have been predictable anyway. And Gail Cunningham, I'm going to send you the bill. I very rarely do a spur of the moment thing. Now, I've been looking at this for some time. I keep revisiting the page and reading it and looking at it, and it's been worrying me because it's a reasonably large expense. And I'm talking to my sister, you know, I said, you know, what have you done as far as your inheritance money? Oh, I've done this, we've had this done, we've had new carpets, we've done this, that and the other. And she looked back and she said, and what have you done? And I said, absolutely nothing. So she said, you didn't go out and get another car or anything? No. I said, I don't need another car. The car I've got works, it's fine. And also, it's got to last a long time. Hopefully it's going to last longer than me. And she said, well, you after all the work and the hours you put in, you ought to treat yourself. And that stuck in my mind. It stayed with me. And then, talking about trying to sell my other guitar, Gail just came up with the magic words, just get the flipping guitar. And I literally went there and then and bought it. Next day delivery. There's two items here. Where they tucked the second one I don't know, probably inside somewhere. That's my documents. What I'll do actually is the guitar I'm trying to sell, I'll put a link to the video where I actually unpackaged that guitar, because that was a bit special. The thing what was so good about that other guitar was its finish, its actual body coloration and patterning that was just absolutely magnificent, quite honestly. Now I don't know how I'm going to get this out at the moment. It looks like it's one of these long tall boxes, which might mean it'll be a bit off camera. In other words, I've got to put it down. Now the first thing that is very obvious is this box weighs half of what that other guitar weighs. And that's with all the packaging. That's before we even get it out. I love it when they do this. We've got a box inside a box. So somehow or other, let me just put this down on the floor and then I can slide it out. We need to get the second box out before we can get any further. Don't worry about the shortage of there's the second package, it's loose. Right, that's the second package. So now we've got another box to undo. And why I got that is because this is that. There are less than half a dozen top makes of guitar, recognised top makes of guitar, that great guitarists have used over the years, and this is one of them. And you can't really have a brand name guitar with a manky old strap on it. So they don't want me to get at this, do they? Huge big metal staples in here, and at the moment I can't get past them. I know what I could do, just cut the cardboard round the staples rather than try and deal with this. Whoops, breaking my own rules here. If you're going to use a knife on a box, cut away from yourself, not towards. always cut away. Right, that's that. Now I don't want to put this box back on the table now because of these jagged metal bits. So hopefully, I've got some little Allen keys, not quite sure what they're for. I'm sure there'll be something that will tell me. This really doesn't want to come out, does it? I'm going to need to sit down after this. Ah, that's good. Right. Nearly there. Anything else in the box? No, nothing else in the box. Now we're getting somewhere. Right, back, front. I'm puffed out. There's an element of excitement involved with being puffed out because I mean, I haven't bought a musical instrument of this sort of value before. I like that. It's got what's called the running logo. I don't know where it got that name from, but I think that's the name of the font. But I thought, you know, to have a named brand guitar and have a manky strap probably just it isn't the done thing, is it? Right, now I can't do it because I'll probably get clobbered on YouTube, but what I'd like to do now is just put a short clip up of Dave Gilmour playing relatively recently. I can't do that, I'll get clobbered. That is anything to do with Pink Floyd in any shape or form. If you replicate it, you will get a strike. They're hot on it. And it's instigated by the remaining members of the band. I do say remaining. And that's why I got this guitar, because I like that image. Now, obviously it's not the real thing, because I haven't got £4,000 or £5,000 to get the basic model, let alone, you know, all the upgrades that have been done. But this is a very good. Why won't you come out? Why won't you come out? I can't see any reason why this won't just slide out. It's friction. I believe it's friction. That's all it is. But we'll leave that on the table so that we don't mark the finish. So there we go, that's what we bought. Now this is a player series, not an American Strat. The difference being that it's made in a different country than the USA. The workmanship and everything like that is very little different, you know, if you look it all up. Right, so typical Strat. What we've got is master volume, a tone control that's for the two pickups, and the other tone control is for the for this pickup here. And they're humbucker pickups, so that's what I paid extra for, is to actually get the humbucker series pickups. So they're Fat 50s, that's what they're called. And for the first time ever, I've got a guitar that's got the angled plug-in rather than the bit that sticks out here, so I like that. Yeah, it's nice. Oh, blimey. The action on this is virtually the same throughout the length of the neck. So the distance between the strings and the frets here is not much different to those down there. Oh, I was going to say, and it's nearly in tune, but not really. That neck is stunning, and that's what got me to do this. Was I picked one up and I thought, that is special. And compared with my other one, the one I'm selling, that this is just so smooth and delicate. You know, this is a much more delicate feel to the whole thing. It's just better all round. And the other one would now feel like a telegraph pole in comparison. And that's why I've changed, is because this will be so much more playable. Right, what else we got then? I don't know what that is. Oh, that's the keeping the damp out little packet. The tune test was signed by an inspector. Well, I hope it went out of tune after it left him, because it's not in tune. By quite a bit. I could have had free online lessons, but we didn't want those. As far as guitars are concerned, I'm self-taught. I have an unfortunate, well, or fortunate, depending on which way you look at it, I play by ear. So if I can hum it, I can play it. And what instruments can I play it on? Anything I can get a note out of. Simple as that. So, you know, when you press the keys on the keyboard, you get notes. So if I can hum the tune, I can pick it out. One finger job, not the whole thing, obviously. The same with anything else I can get a note out of. I play by ear. A little booklet, Fender sticker to go somewhere, not quite sure where. And then we've got our our whammy bar. I'm not even sure I'm going to put that on until I've read out how to do it. Although I think these just screw in nowadays. Or as I call it, the Hank Marvin bar. Yeah, it just screws in. There we go, that goes there. I doubt if I'll use that much because I don't know how. And then we've got two tiny little Allen keys. One of those will be to adjust the neck, definitely. And what the tiny little one's for, let me have a look. Where is there a tiny little... Ah, it's for the bridge. So this is the intonation. Obviously when you play a string, it's an open note. So the intonation is out on this guitar by a fair bit. That hasn't been set up very well at all. I'm not impressed with that. This is the 12th fret, and it effectively cuts the string in half, which means the note either side should be the same, and it's not. Which means this bit has to be adjusted to make a midway point, so that each side of that fret is identical. I wonder if they're all out. They're all out by roughly the same amount. So what I think that has been done with this guitar is it's been deliberately set wrong to make you do it yourself. So a little bit of work to do there. Excuse me. But it's got the 5-way switch on it, which basically means one pickup, that one with the next one, that one with the next one, and the last one. So that gives you the choice of which pickups you're using, and then you've got the tone and volume controls to go with it. Yeah, the finish on it's nice. As I said, the setup's pretty lousy. I'll actually send an email to actually say how far out this was. This, in theory, this should have been... My last guitar was set up before it left the factory, and it was pretty flipping close. And it was almost in tune when it came out of the box. Well, this can't be tuned accurately until the intonation's sorted out. And although I've got very good ears for that sort of thing, I will probably use my guitar amplifier, which has actually got a tuner on it. So basically I can get the tuner to detect E, and then play the open string, get that in tune, and then play the octave, and it will be out, it'll vibrate, and then I can adjust the intonation section on the bridge until the amplifier tells me that the bass note and the 12th fret are identical. Then the intonation's right. Otherwise, as you start playing chords up the scale, it'll just go more and more out. This bit's important, this has got to be done, it's got to be set up right. That's very, very important, that bit, and I'd say it's probably more important than the action, you know, whether you want to adjust the neck down or up. Effectively, a neck should have a very slight curve on it, which this has got. I think the neck's good, don't think there's anything to do with the neck. But the test will be the fret buzz. You should be able to get to the top fret, and when it's actually plugged in, it'll ring. And if it doesn't ring, then it's slightly touching another fret between the one you've chosen and the bridge, which means the action's a little too low. Anyway, something to play with. First thing to do is to get this set up right, so that it should stay in tune, and it will be in tune over the length of the neck. And to do that, there's some fiddling to do on the bridge. Not too bad, as I say, it's a relatively straightforward thing to do. Some people can just do it by ear, you know, they can just play the note, play the octave, and see how far out it is. It is a little out. And what you've got to decide is it sharp or flat? Now if it's sharp, it means that the piece of string here is shorter than the piece of string here, and that would be deemed wrong. So you've got to make this bit longer, so you move the bridge element for that string back to make this bit of string the same length as that, in which case it'll obviously produce the same note. And then you go through all of them, repeating the process. That one's as near as damn it. Hear that? Press that really hard to get two notes. It's touching a fret. So the action may be a little low. And obviously there's another adjustment here for height. You can actually do that with this bit as well as that. So there's some adjustments to do on the bridge, just fine tuning. Yeah, it's not as far out as I thought it was. Anyway, that's it. That's my new toy, and it's my treat to me via my sister for all the hours I actually put in, so that I've got something I can sit down and enjoy for some time to come. And to enjoy this properly, I need to get the music room finished, and to do that I need to get the blind up on the wall, which is manual work and drilling holes and all that sort of stuff. Which needs to be done when I'm in the mood, because that needs to be done right. And then all the stuff that's in there I need to have a sort out, because there is some stuff in there that's just been put in as like a junk room up in one corner. That may need to stay where it is. And then basically I've got a table, you know, I've got my guitar amp, keyboards, electronic drum kit, all that's got to be set up in a position where it can be accessed and used, and all the wires come together with the sound controller with the bare wire hanging out with the USB connection on the end, and I just take the laptop upstairs, plug the laptop in and turn it all on, and it's all ready to go. So that's the goal. That's not going to happen overnight. What have we got in here then? Oh, that's my receipt. My receipt. Okay, so that was it, an unboxing video. Yeah, quite something really. Needs a little bit of a clean. It's got some finger marks on it. Some of those will be mine. And then that'll have to go upstairs on the guitar stand so that it stands upright. Guitars need to be, you can hang them like that from the neck. I don't know whether that's on camera. And they're quite happy like that. Or you put them on a stand where they gently rest against the neck. Gently. Not like that. You're stretching the joint. The joint where the neck meets the guitar needs to be relaxed. So just gently against a rack. So we'll get that organised. And it's okay like this particular guitar, because of the angle of the neck. When this is flat on the deck, the neck isn't touching. So it could be stored like that. But it weighs next to nothing. I'm impressed. So there we go, that's the new toy, and I've dragged this on a bit, but I don't know, it's just, I haven't bought anything like this before, you know, this is, to actually have a named guitar, you know, that's, you know, in a style that's been used by many, many people. I mean, Hendrix has used a Strat, Hank Marvin, the other end of the scale, Clapton's used a Strat, Dave Gilmour, Jeff Beck. Many of the great guitarists have used Strats, Jimmy Page, although I think he was more of a Les Paul man. But many guitarists have used an assortment because of the variety of sound they can get from the different pickup arrangements and everything. And they might go on stage with half a dozen different guitars, and some guitars they might only use for one song, you know, because that's the sound they want for that song. So anyway, that's the new toy. A Fender Strat Special. Now the special bit here is the company Guitar, which have about, I think they've got 6 or 7 stores around the country, UK based company, and they specified this particular guitar and went to Fender and got Fender to produce those guitars for them. So you can't buy this anywhere else. It is quite special from that point of view. The only available model of this, unless you design and build it yourself, is from that company. So it's a limited edition, and it's literally, you know, to represent Dave Gilmour's classic black Stratocaster. So with the humbucker pickups, they're a bolt-on goodie. The black bitboard, that's the style that's been designed, and I'm just so impressed with this neck. It's narrow, it's smooth. I'm not ragging my skin off on the edge of the frets. They've all been nicely finished off. Well, it just feels so right compared with that other thing. It makes my other guitar feel clumsy and just not wanted anymore. I still haven't sold it, but I'm still trying. So there we go, Fender Strat Special. As I said, unique to that particular supplier, designed and specified by them, for them, in limited numbers. So there we go. See you next time. Bye for now.